It was really magical. It was quite amazing walking around in this empty spaces and being able to see everything. What really amazed me was all the beautiful patterns in the carpets and in the curtains. I loved the Victorian era archways and the chandeliers and all those shapes and patterns. I like to think have kind of ended up in the work at the end as well. So Hadleys has a really interesting history. To start with, it was owned by a man called John Webb, who was a pastry chef. He used a lot of toffee and sugar in his cooking. People used to say that when they walked past Hadleys, there'd be these amazing cake displays in the windows. And so when I started to learn about Hadley's history, I knew that there was this history about pastry chefs and toffee. And so it seemed like a really obvious and beautiful connection between me and Hadley's. Mrs. Beaton's cookbook is a reference that I've been using throughout my residency. Mrs. Beaton's book was a household staple back in the 1800s, and I used a recipe for toffee from the book itself. So yeah, Hadley's uses a lot of the recipes here for their high teas as well. Well, when I first came in and met the curator at Hadley's, we had a conversation about what was in the atrium back in the 1800s, and it used to be a fernery with an amazing fountain in the middle, and I just knew that when I heard that story I had to recreate that fountain and the garden that used to be here. So I'm creating a three-tiered fountain, a Victorian style fountain. It's going to be made out of the clay that I found around Hobart, and it represents this unearthing and unveiling of all these stories that have been covered over with the facades and the concrete of Hobart. The glaze that I've been using for these tiles is made out of casuarina ash. Using ash as a glaze is a traditional technique that's been used for many centuries, and the ash turns into glass in the kiln. And the ash that I've decided to use for this exhibition is casuarina ash, or she oak ash, because where Hadley sits today used to be a coastal casuarina forest. And then the process that these materials go through, it's almost magical. Once you get the clay and the glazes out of the kiln, they turn into these gorgeous, almost like gemstones. I'm going to be using toffee to make beautiful toffee flowers that are inspired by Tasmanian native waratahs, and they'll be all around the fountain in the installation, and they'll start oozing and being quite sticky throughout the duration of the exhibition. So every day that you come and see it, it'll be quite different, and the toffee will really glisten. Well, when I started the residency and I was exploring the hotel, I instantly walked in here and I thought I needed to make this lead light out of toffee. I've always worked with toffee in my practice, and it's always had a resemblance to stained glass in my mind. It's just so intricate, and I love how toffee changes in colours. You can get it really blonde and quite dark, and it's very sticky and oozy, so you can get those beautiful shapes. I'm going to present it on a tall table. I wanted to create the look of a beautiful long dining table that you would have had in Victorian era. So the idea is that you look up into the toffee stained glass, and then you'll see also the lead light up above. So you'll be able to see the two working together.